Hey guys, it's Ashley with 3R Sales and Service. Today we're taking a look at one of our COACHWHIP Pro builds. This is in a 16-foot box. This particular vehicle is a Chevy 4500 HG. So we'll go around back, we'll take a look at everything. This is equipped with a 10-gallon-a-minute pressure washer and 11-gallon-a-minute gas engine Softwash system. And we have our Tucker premium window cleaning system in here as well. So from the rear, we have our 3 hose reels, one for our inlet reel, one for our high pressure hose, which is holding 1/2-inch 200-foot section hose, and then up top we've got a 300-foot section of 1/2-inch hose for the Softwash system. All 3 of these hose reels are the Titan hose reels with the electric rewind, so all you do is press this button and it pulls in the hose for you. We've got the premium hose guides on each one of these reels, along with we add the locking connectors in here just to kind of give it a nice clean look when everything is all wrapped up, keeps your hoses in place during transit. And then along the sides you can see we have our nozzles for the pressure washer, and up top, a little difficult to see from where the camera is now, but there is a pressure gauge on the Softwash reel so you know where you're operating at all times. With the Softwash systems, it's really important not to over pressurize, so we make sure we have that on there more as a safety feature than anything. The pressure washer is our 10-gallon-a-minute 3500 PSI. It's got a GX 800 fuel injected engine, and the pump is one of the TSF series general pumps, so big heavy duty pumps for high volume spraying. On the pump we have a bleeder valve here. That's what this black handle is. This allows us to get all of the air out of the water line in between the water tank and the pressure washer. So if you've ever started a system that's running off of a tank, you can't get the water to get through, you keep pulling the trigger, nothing's coming through, because there's too much air stuck in there. So we have a way of kind of keeping that from happening, so you have a quick, easy startup, and it prevents pump damage as well. The yellow hose coming off of the unloader valve, that's our bypass hose. So whenever you let off the trigger, it's recirculating that water back to the water tank, and it is keeping the pump nice and cool. So that just keeps it from overheating whenever you're in bypass mode, so that you don't get any pump damage. We'll climb on up in here. We'll go over the rest of the system where you can see the Softwash, a whole bunch of remotes that we have in there, and the window cleaning. Okay, so from inside the truck, you can kind of get the other view of the pressure washer that we have down here. We're gonna swing over to the back side of the hose reels. So on the back side of the hose reels, we've got a few of our pressure washer attachments or accessories that go along with it. So this is our downstream manifold, and this is allowing different soaps to be ran through your soap injector that is used through the pressure washer. So we have our dip tube line, which is this right here, and whenever you open up this valve, it'll actually allow you to pull soap directly from any other source that you have, whether it's like a 5-gallon bucket of a specialty cleaner. If you want to throw it in your water tank, it's long enough to do that so you can rinse out your system. Gives you a little bit more versatility than just using the tanks that are on board the truck. And then we have a nice little hook to kind of hold that all in place. We use the PVC to help hold that down into your bucket, weighs it down a little bit, just to keep it in place. Moving on, we have our surfactant and our SH1, which is bleach. These two you can actually blend together if you'd like. So you can just kind of crack open your surfactant valve, and then your bleach one you would open up all the way, and then those two components can be blended together and used through your soap injector. The soap injector is connected in line with the FLOPRO system. So the FLOPRO is a remote chemical injector bypass. And the reason we use those is because when you have high flow equipment, it's going through this soap injector typically, and whenever it goes through the injector, it actually reduces the water flow because it's such a small orifice going through that injector. So when you bypass it, you can get a straight shot of water right through here and directly to your hose reel. It doesn't have to be restricted by this small soap injector. So this is ideal for when you want maximum flow, especially with surface cleaning. So with surface cleaning, you generally spray your soap down, you switch over to your surface cleaner, and you've got max flow through your surface cleaner. And this just gets controlled with a remote. So super easy to use, really, really common for any of our 8, 10 or higher flow systems. Down below, we've got an aluminum 22-gallon fuel tank. This fuel tank powers the pressure washer, and we do have a vent tube off of it too, so any of the fumes aren't going airborne in your truck. They're actually going down and out through the bottom, so you don't have any issues with that. It does have a gauge on it, so you can tell when it's fuel, and having this larger tank definitely helps from having to fill it often with the bigger engines. Next to it is our gas engine Softwash system. So we've got a Honda GX series engine. This one is a GX, can't see with my glasses on, GX 200. Sometimes they come with GX 200s, sometimes they come with GX 160s. Depends a lot of times on what's available, but you don't need a 200, you really just need a 160 or even less to power these. This one does have electric start on it. With the electric start, we've also got this connected to a remote on off. So once you've started the system up and everything is kind of warmed up, you can use it to remotely turn it off or to remotely turn it on. Most commonly used whenever you're on a roof or on a ladder and you need to shut the system down quickly, or if you have a leak and you need to shut it down quickly as well. We do have an access panel here so that this can be used with that access panel open in order to vent the exhaust. When you have these smaller exhausts, it's difficult to find a way to get them vented properly, so a lot of times you'll see us put access panels in there for either fuel filling or for exhausting. We have a battery here specific to the Softwash system. The pressure washer also has its own battery too. We don't want to cross-charging systems for anything. Up above, well, I guess I should mention, this is the P40 pump. I think I talked about the engine, but not the pump. A P40 pump is an 11-gallon a minute system, and we have it attached to the hydro mixer, which blends our water, our soap, and our SH. So these are commonly called proportioners. This one's called a hydro mixer. They all kind of do the same thing. We've got metering valves for all three of those inlets there. The nice thing about this one is the bleach valve actually tells you what percentage of bleach you're drawing based on you putting 12.5% inside your bleach tank. So very easy to switch between house wash mix and roof wash mix without having to add or remove water in your tanks. Next to it is our flush system. It's a remote flush system. So we can have a manual one where you walk in and you manually turn a valve to rinse out your bleach line or to apply water with your Softwash. This one, you just press a button and it turns off your surfactant and it switches your bleach over to a water draw, so you have full flow going through your system and rinsing out your Softwash, or just so you can apply water on the job site. Down below we have our 7-gallon surfactant tank, and we have our 55-gallon bleach tank or SH tank. Next to this is our Tucker window cleaning system. So this is an RO and DI system, and it'll actually take all of the minerals out of the water as long as all of your cartridges are fresh. And those are easy to tell because there is a TDS meter, which tells you how many particles are in the water. So as it goes through there, it tells you how many particles are in the water as it's coming out. So it's easy to kind of keep track of how it's all working. We do have attachments for this as well, which we'll get to once we get to the other side of the truck. We've got the hooks and everything that it's hanging on. But down below is the hose reel for it that does come with 150 foot of hose, and that doesn't include the hose that comes with the wand extension so that you can have further reach. There's a whole way that this gets flushed out or primed in order to use it. So the way that we have our valving on here, and we go over all of this thoroughly in training, the way that we have the valving on here is so that you can easily do those things without it being a big process or a big to-do. So as you look at the hoses go along the wall, part of it is for that window cleaning system, but that green hose is our fill hose. So that's coming from the garden hose reel over to our water tank, and it's actually filtering the water before it goes into the tank. And we like putting filters on here because it keeps the float valves from getting clogged up. It also keeps you from collecting debris in the inside of your tank. So one small thing kind of really helps a lot of other issues down the road. This is a 525-gallon water tank. And on the other side, you can see that yellow hose. This is where our bypass hose is. And down below, we've got our 30-inch surface cleaner. This is the item I was talking about. Works great in conjunction with those FLOPRO remote rinses, where you go around the chemical injector to get maximum flow. We'll keep kind of moving around. Down below, we have some more filters that goes over to the pressure washer system. All the way on the passenger side, we've got the tank drain. That's a 2-inch drain to empty this 525-gallon tank quickly if needed. The customer does have some extra accessories. They're going to be picking this up in just a couple days, so usually what we do is we throw a few extra accessories so that they can drive home and not have to worry about shipping those extra things. The Tucker systems do come with additional cartridges, and then this box here is just the remotes for all of the remotes for the 3 different remotes that are on here. Up above is the telescopic pole for the window cleaning. This is a 50-foot pole. And then we also have a telescopic wand for pressure washing. So the yellow one with the brush is for window cleaning. The one below is for pressure washing. And then down below we've got a couple different a 4-foot lance, a 3-foot lance, and then the red one is our Softwash gun assembly. The other things that we do inside these trucks, we do paint the interiors. We go with a gloss white. Just reflects a lot more light in here. It's easier to keep clean if you need to wipe it down real quick. We do fabricate all of the hooks ourselves, so we can kind of customize where they're placed, how big they are, what gauge of aluminum they are, just so we can make sure that it holds the heavy accessories and also keeps them from bouncing off of the walls. We have our premium protective flooring in here. This protects chemicals, water, fuel, any of that kind of stuff from penetrating the wood floor below. We use aluminum strip to hold it down in place and caulking in other areas where needed. And it's super important to us to keep all of the wiring, all of the hoses, all of that stuff out of the way so we don't have any trip hazards. We don't want to kind of go across any of the walkways. You want to have additional storage if needed. So we do pay a lot of attention to those kinds of details to make sure it's safe, it's clean looking, and it's professional. This particular package is called the COACHWHIP Pro. We do have another COACHWHIP truck that has 2 10-gallon pressure washers, and we've also got the COACHWHIP XL, where it's got a hot water 10-gallon and a cold water 10-gallon, along with the Softwash and the window cleaning system. So we have a whole bunch of variations of this truck. If you have any questions, feel free to take a look at our website for current pricing, for availability. It's 3rpressurewashers.com. And if this is something that you like, or you're like, hey, I like this, I want to do something a little bit different though, just feel free to give us a call and we can help you out. Thanks.